Hello, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast, Boss Ravioli Queens. We are Boss Lady Amy,
Nick Holy Ravioli,
and Jasmine the Queen.
And we are three very real caregivers who decided we are going to spill all the ravioli on trending topics, healthcare, and so much more.
We've decided that we're going to cover a non-healthcare topic every other week as a form of self-care. After all, we live and breathe our jobs. Don't worry, we'll still have plenty of ravioli to spill.
We can't talk about work all the time. Sometimes we gotta be Cheerios because normally we're Fruit Loops.
On that note, let's
get
messy. Warning, this podcast includes profane language, crude humor, mature subjects, and possible talk of bodily fluids. This may not be suitable for listeners under the age of 18. This episode is called Make America Free Again. In this episode, we will be discussing crazy things that are going on in this world.
Discussing.
So, where do you guys want to start?
Well, it's pretty much all said in the title.
Yeah.
Well,
we're about Mafa, y'all.
So, if the title doesn't give you any hints, there's a certain person who had a certain slogan that was also our president.
Fuck that guy.
And he was arrested, so we're going to talk about that.
And can we talk about the fact that Melania, scheduled herself a trip without him? Live your best life, girl. Go get it.
Me too, Melania. Me too.
Oh my god. She didn't even go with him. She said bye.
No, I got
plans.
Bye. Not my fault you were arrested. I'm out.
So apparently he's trying to run again in 2024. I want everybody to know that if y'all motherfuckers elect this man as president again, I am going to find a way to move the fuck out of America. And I know that's the slogan too, if you don't like it, just leave. Well, I can't just fucking leave. I cost $2,000 goddamn dollars to renounce your citizenship, you fucks. Oh, sorry, I get real angsty about this.
Yeah. We can tell.
I got into a lot of fights with people about this.
I'm sure you did.
A lot.
Honestly, this isn't even my favorite subject. I'm not a very big politics kind of person.
Well, I also want to make it clear that I'm just not a U.S. government person.
Right.
The
I
whole
don't really
shit
enjoy
is
it.
Trash.
But, I mean, at the same time or whatever, there's a lot of issues that just need to be fixed within politics, government system, the world. Honestly, so much needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I'm more of I don't even really have a favorite side. It's more so just fix our issues so we can just live as normal people.
Right. Well, it all comes down to being divided, like I said in one of the last episodes.
Correct. We need to be a united front.
It's the left versus the right, but why? Because they both fucking blow.
Right.
They both. I guess they
blow
both have.
Sometimes too.
They both have some good qualities, but you know what? There are people out there that have good qualities, but just because they have good qualities doesn't make them a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
Let's all just get along.
Why can't we be friends?
Literally.
Seriously.
I don't know. A lot of people are all about them and their needs, and everybody should just agree with me and blah blah blah. I'm very strongly opinionated, but I also respect other people's opinions.
Right. And religions and all of that, kind of stuff. Because it's... I mean, everybody has different ideals and different ideas, and... It's kind of the same thing, but... No, ideas, kind of the same thing. But you know what I mean.
We tired. Leave us alone.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Well, I already went off on one rant, so I'm not. I'm gonna try and chill now for a minute.
So we were gonna address the TikToks?
Oh yeah, but it's not even just a Tic Tac ban. It's I have tired brains, so this is going to be really hard for me to explain right now. And I don't want to explain it really because I literally just went off on a big tangent. So.
I know, but you're probably the best one to explain it. You know, I think you know the best about it.
Considering you told us about it, I'm going to say this one's on you, my friend.
Yeah, you kind of like start us off here a little bit.
So basically, calling it... excuse me. Calling it the TikTok ban is like a front. It has nothing to really do with TikTok other than the fact that it's like a foreign-owned company thing. Zuckerberg is in there, like, trying to basically take over. They're basically trying to be communist about our interwebs now. So they can see whatever we're using, how much we're using it, and it's more than just, like, to target ads.
Right. Well, I feel
it's still kind of creepy to think about, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you guys watched that interview with Shu Chu, I believe his name is. That's the TikTok dude.
Like the CEO?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope, haven't seen that.
I didn't watch the full thing, but I've been on the TikToks recently. More like every day of my life, but
She was just watching toilet TikToks.
I fucking was. How did you know?
These walls weren't that thick.
So they were really, really awful to him, actually. They would, like, interrupt him, not let him talk, but, like, of course, more old white men saying they, like, don't understand Wi-Fi at all. They were like, so when we're in our homes, oh, God, well, I gotta remember exactly how this went down, but my brain is drawing blanks right now. Something about being connected to Wi-Fi in your home. Like, they don't understand how Wi-Fi works because they think that other people can, like, steal your shit already.
I mean, it's possible, but
that's
typically
like, you
need to
like
guess the Wi-Fi password.
Right.
Or
and
be
then
a
they were
very
saying,
good hacker.
Right.
There was some other stuff about how VPNs are going to be, like, illegal to use and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, because the VPNs can, like, protect you from
them
people seeing stuff, yeah.
Well, that's the point of a VPN.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our government no longer wants that.
But they don't want that because then it's, like, people use VPNs for, like, stuff like when they do, like, dark web stuff. And
yeah, but that's also part of the front, is that they're trying to make it sound real good.
Right.
So I think what's interesting about this is, like, I feel like this has been one of their, like, items on the agenda for a long time, and TikTok is just the way that they can use it. I feel like no matter what, like, this was going to happen, they're just like, oh, you know what, here's this new platform, it's super popular, let's do it with this.
Exactly. It's basically like
well, that's exactly what it
trial
is.
that they can integrate it through everything.
It was always going to happen. Like, we're free, but we're not that free.
Right. And
they just want more and more and more control over every little aspect of our lives.
Right, and then it's wrapped up into a nice tiny little bow. Oh, this is just for ad targeting.
Yeah, it's not. It's a whole lot of shit. So, if you have a congressman that you'd like to email or call their office and be like, yo, fuck that, you're not doing that, like, make your voice heard. Because if that law passes, we are so screwed. We are so screwed. Kind of going back to, like, the stuff that went on with, like, Iran and Masa Amini and stuff. When that whole shit happened and the country was just going crazy, they shut off their internet. They couldn't access anything. It went off grid. And that's what our government could do to fucking us. So...
yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
No, it doesn't. So yeah,
I feel like someone would listen to this episode and, like, swat us.
Maybe.
They know too much.
Right?
It's really not that hard.
We've been figured out.
It's really not that hard. Look outside your small little box.
Right?
Well, that's another thing. Like, we're conditioned to think inside our tiny little box.
Right.
And not challenge things and be this good person that just follows all the rules. And you know what? I can't do that. Because when I see something that's wrong, I'm going to say something about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, I feel like that's how, like, at least going back to the whole caregiving thing, I feel like that's something that we're kind of, like, conditioned into.
Absolutely, but it's also the way I've been, like, my whole life.
Right.
But that also makes me a strong caregiver, I guess.
Correct. Which is why we are here today, friends.
So many things make up different parts of us.
Mm-hmm. Lots of different character traits.
Correct.
Long pause for dramatic.
So, going back to Trump being arrested and all of that good stuff, I feel like it's important to say that we are more divided than we ever have been. And what's crazy to me is, like, this isn't even really about, like, picking a side or, like, politics. Like, it came down to one man. Like, that's wild to me, is that this is one man that literally divided a nation and had people fighting with each other, whether it's on the internet or physically. Like, so many things have happened because of this one guy. And I feel like this whole, like, TikTok thing that's happening is just another way to, like, divide us. And I think people are going to either be on the side of, like, yeah, America type of situation. Like, this is what the government needs to do to keep us safe. And then the other side of it's going to be like, we are not free. Like, can you not see that?
Yeah, we're not really free at all. And I mean, if you look at a lot of things that the government has done, it's most of it just makes everything worse, everything more expensive.
Right.
Like, I feel like the government needs to be more advocated for the people, but instead it's like just money, more money, more and more money.
Well,
to
the
them.
U.S. Constitution, point blank, is like supposed to be we the people, by the people, for the people, and that's not how it is anymore. It has come so far off track from that because it's literally the rich versus the poor.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, the Constitution, like, it was literally made because we got away from the British.
Right.
And now, like, we're back to the same thing, but yet we're divided within our own country. And, like, I feel like it's really relevant. All this TikTok stuff is happening at the same time that Trump got arrested. Like, I know that they're obviously two different things, but it feels like they coincide.
Yeah. Well, that's like anytime something big in like Hollywood happens or whatever, there's usually some sort of bullshit going on in the government. So because people are so attracted to what's going on in Hollywood and all of the gossip, they tend to not pay attention to the other stuff because we're so desensitized to it.
Right. And I feel like, again, it's really important to say that, like, this has nothing to do with politics. None of us are saying you should lean one way or the other. Like, this affects all of us. This doesn't just affect, you know, whether you're Republican or Democrat or whatever. Like, this affects everybody.
And it's like crazy to see that, like, now we had like so much like a lot more progress once upon a time, but now it just seems like racism's on a high, sexism's on a high, like stuff against the LGBTQIA plus community is like on the rise. It's like there's just more and more and more division and more hate just coming to light.
Yeah, and that's the way it always has been, but right now I feel as though it's at an all-time high.
And it's so much more open. Like, people are so much more open about it, too. About, like, hating other people.
Right. And I think it's kind of funny how this is like this is supposed to be the era of like cancel culture and everything, but like everything was already there. Like we already knew about all of the hate and everything that was going on. But now, with all these different platforms and all these different ways that you can like speak your truth, it's like, oh, all these people coming out of the woodwork. Not really.
Yeah, they
like it's always been there.
It's always been there, but like now people literally will, with all the different ways to do it, will come. Oh my god, will literally like
just come out and say it right to your face.
Basically, like
instead of keeping their opinions to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they're so.
Are you all right?
Do we need to tea?
No, we're okay.
There's some shit going on by the hotel room, guys. Sorry about that.
We're okay.
We're okay.
We're alive. It's fine.
So honestly, with this episode, what we're hoping to see in the future is like stuff as simple as the government basically being more of an advocate for the people. And also, like, stuff like more affordable healthcare, more affordable, like, schooling. Like, I feel like hate's always gonna be around, but, like, I'm sure we'd all like to see people just respect each other in general instead of, like, feeling the need to go out of their way to just hate somebody just because, like, you don't have to like other people. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is you also don't have to go out of your way to, like, make sure they know that you hate them.
Accurate. I also feel like our government should stop trying to pit us against each other big time because they do that all the time and usually it works and I'm guilty of it too. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's basically like the rich versus the poor, and it should be I want to see everybody win because we're all a part of this country. We're called the United States of America, and we are so divided. So I would like to see us unite again at some point.
Yeah, honestly, instead of making America great again, what about making America united for fucking once?
Mm-hmm. And free. Because honestly, like, with the whole women's rights stuff, that is like, super regression.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna be barefoot pregnant in the kitchen. Sorry, not sorry. Also, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so good luck getting me fucking pregnant.
And honestly, when we're united as a whole is like when we make the most progress. I mean, think about it like in the past, like how they started building stuff or whatever. You had to get along with each other. You have to work together to do it, to make this progression and work with everybody else's skills, and that's how you progress.
Right, and if there needs to be some kind of mediator involved to get the job done, fine, but get it the fuck done.
Mm-hmm.
So what you were just saying about women's rights, that reminds me of a trend that is, trending on TikTok. Something that's becoming a lot more popular is trad wives. You ever heard of that?
No.
That is a, how do I say it? Population of people. It's a certain culture within TikTok where these housewives, they're called trad wives. It's basically traditional wives, and they show how it's basically all about pleasing their husbands.
Oh, like I have seen some of those, and they go off about being a wife to a blue-collar man and all this stuff. Yeah.
So what's really interesting to me is that they are using technology that is ever-changing, ever going forward to talk about how they've basically been regressing and how they choose to live a life of the past. Isn't that ironic?
I was going to say, oh, the irony.
Uh-huh.
Okay, then. You do you, boo-boo.
I'll be over here with my dual income.
And look, no hate, but that does give me the ick. Like, it just does. And with prices right now going up and up and up, how the hell are you a stay-at-home anything?
Honestly.
Well, and then
I don't think, unless somebody is like real rich or whatever that I'm with, there's no way I could be
No.
ever.
And honestly, I could never be a stay-at-home anything anyway because I
It'd be
like
too-
to be
it'd
out
be
and
too boring.
working.
So that then begs the question, how do you remain supportive of these women, because they are women and they do deserve women's rights like anybody else?
Yo.
How do you remain supportive of that when you're also looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's hard, but we support you.
Mhm.
We support you, kind of.
I just don't necessarily like the way you portray yourself.
But that's okay though. Like,
That is okay. I can still support you from afar.
right.
And that's what I just said. I can still support you from afar. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, right.
Tying it all in.
So basically, guys, just be like me.
Okay, Mr. Biden, take notes.
Stop. You're horrible.
He'll forget the notes. He'll forget the notes in 2.2. It's okay.
Oh my god. Stop it.
I said I don't like our government, and I meant it. I
That's
don't
true.
care
I
who's in
really
office. Like,
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It's just not in a good position at all.
no,
At all.
And
be
we're
in a bad
all-
way.
Right, like I was saying before, I mean, we all live here. We all have to find a way to get through our lives. Like, this affects everybody. It's not one side or the other.
I had a spastic breath. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys saw that.
It's okay.
So I think we got a little chaotic again, but that's all right.
We did.
That's
We
all right.
went all over the place.
All over. It's all over.
Crazy bitches.
Coffee. Sips coffee judgingly.
Sips tea judgingly.
Spills ravioli, judgingly?
Actually, for me, it's Sips Monster judgingly.
T-shirts pending.
Well, anyways, I think that's enough of politics for this episode, because it's just, I don't think it's really anybody's favorite subject unless you're a politician. So.
Or a certain side.
Oh my god.
Okay, enough roasting.
Stop it.
Bye!
Bye.
This has been the Boss Ravioli Queens podcast with your hosts, Boss Lady Amy,
Nicole Ravioli.
And Jasmine the Queen.
Thank you so much for spilling your ravioli with us.
Don't worry, we'll serve you more next time.
This has been the Boss Ravioli Queens podcast with your hosts, Boss Lady Amy,
Nicole Ravioli.
And Jasmine the Queen.
Thank you so much for spilling your ravioli with us.
Don't worry, we'll serve you more next time. Until next time, go wash your ass.